Boyd.
His is the worst voice you will ever hear.
Will he offer me his teeth?
The Tommy Boyds Show will teach you nothing. Nothing.
Always read the label.
Nothing but iniquity and wickedness.
If you really bug me, then I'll say goodbye.
You see, I married a teacher, and my dad married a teacher, and, well, you know, we got it right. Maybe it's genetic. Maybe all the boys in the Boyd family marry teachers if they can find them. But we think we got it right. My dad and I, and most of the people I know who are married to teachers, agree. It's the perfect profession. If profession is something that you take into consideration when you marry somebody, and I think it should be, don't you? And I think a teacher is the ideal partner in life. Free call 0500 10 53 89. For one thing, they don't have the job insecurity that so many other people have. Teaching is pretty much a job for life, isn't it? So whatever insecurities they have got, they are not constantly worried about whether their P45 is going to be in the next post. That's point number one. They are more secure in their jobs, and therefore they are more secure individuals, psychologically, than virtually any profession I can think of. Teachers, that's why there's no better wife than a teacher. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Teachers make great parents. They love children. They must do, otherwise they wouldn't go into teaching. They're trained to bring up children. It's their job. It's their profession. Who would you want pottering around at the bottom of your garden with a shovel? A professional gardener. Who would you want bringing up your children? A professional teacher. They must make great parents. And, of course, they want to do the job, because parenting helps them become better teachers. So you yourself will have to read fewer bedtime stories, have to get up less often during the night, have to deal with bickering less often if you marry a teacher. I tell you, this is one of the golden tips in life. If you're unmarried, you take my advice on board right now. Get yourself down to your local teacher training disco on Friday night. Well, there you will find your Mr. Right or your Miss Right in abundance. Free call 0500 10 53 89. If you're married to a teacher, you don't have to do the school run, because teachers will be able to drop the children off on their way into their school, or maybe even they'll be teaching at the school that your children go to, which is absolutely perfect. Even if not, your partner will be able to pick the children up on their way home from their school, which is absolutely perfect. And it is these kind of complications that can often cause stress and tension in any marriage, however perfect, however loving. The sheer mechanics of running children hither and thither can really cause all sorts of problems. But if you marry a teacher, the school run will never be a problem. Do it. Do it. Did you do it? Am I right? Free call 0500 10 53 89. The holidays for teachers are fantastic. They get plenty of time to do all the odd jobs around the house, because they get 13, 14, 15, sometimes 16, 17 weeks off a year. And best of all, once again, those holidays coincide with your children's holidays. So you're never going to have to bother your parents or her parents or their parents to ask if the children can come and stay for a week or a fortnight because both of you work. Because if you marry a teacher, your partner will be off work when the children are off school. Honestly, you should be paying me for this kind of advice. Free call 0500 10 53 89. On top of which, teaching is a very easy job to drop out of for a couple of years or 5 years. As a lot of women want to do when they have their families, they really like to take out 5 years from their career. And there's no better profession for picking up from where you left off than teaching. You can drop straight into it, because the national curriculum isn't going to change, hasn't changed for a long time, probably won't change for an even longer period of time. And, you know, year after year, you're teaching more or less the same thing. So you don't have to learn anything new. If you drop out of teaching to have a family and then go back into teaching, you can just keep your class notes, keep your lesson plans. They will be just as alive and vibrant in the year 2007 as they are now. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Not only that, you are ensured good status. Your partner in life will be a revered member of society wherever you go. Because contrary to what you hear from the occasional teacher who's a little bit tired of teaching and therefore tired of life, teachers are revered in society, quite rightly too, because they do a wonderful job, marvellous job. They work sort of quite hard-ish and get fantastic money. when you consider that it is a job for life. There are plenty of opportunities in the teaching profession to earn extra bits and pieces of money by doing classes after school. You can run a cricket class after school, you can run a trombone class after school, and you can charge, and the school will let you keep the money. You can write odd articles for all the various education publications that there are. They're always looking for 250 words on this, that, and the other, and as long as you are a practicing teacher, they'll accept your piece. Teaching carries good money, great status, excellent opportunities, and whatever the odd teacher will tell you, compared to most other jobs, teaching is absolutely stress-free. So your partner, if he or she is a teacher, will have plenty of time to lavish the TLC you need, if you're not a teacher, on you. Recipe for a long and happy marriage and a long and happy life. If in doubt, marry a teacher. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. We're talking about the ideal profession to marry, if you're going to have a happy marriage, and even more important, have a happy life yourself. Margaret calls from Torbay. You're on Talk Radio, Margaret. Good
Stop
afternoon.
sounding so smug, Tommy.
Hey? I'm just passing on sound advice, Mrs.
Yeah, but don't sound so smug about it.
Why not? I am smug about it. Why not? What's wrong with honesty? What's wrong with the truth?
You're quite right, but don't be smug about it. Say it in a nice manner,
See, that's
please.
what you don't like, is the fact that I'm right. Again.
I don't like
Again.
it. No.
Again.
No, you're perfectly right, but don't be so damn smug about it.
Who did you marry, then?
What?
What did you marry?
A professional person.
Professional what?
Never mind that. None of your business.
Yes, it is my business.
No, it isn't. No,
Why
no,
not?
no. Oh, as well as it's none of your...
Are you ashamed of it?
Sorry?
Are you ashamed of who you married?
Deeply. Oh, deeply,
Are
yes.
you really? Are you really?
Oh, yes.
Ooh, why, dear?
Yes, isn't it terrible?
Why are you ashamed of who you married?
Can you help me with it?
If I say yes, you'll have to tell me the facts.
What, the profession that he's in?
Well, that's a good start.
I've been married for a long time to him.
Yes, but what does he do?
Years and years.
Yes, but what does he do?
He's retired now. I couldn't possibly tell you what he did before.
Was
No,
he
not on national radio. Can I just ask another question? Your producer, the lady who answered the phone, wanted to know my age.
Yes.
You wouldn't tell me why.
No, so we guessed that you were 98.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But why did she want to know?
But for our records.
What? Why? No, to answer the question, why?
I said for our records because we like to know what sort of people call the programme.
All right.
What
All
did
right.
you
Well,
think?
now you know that there are very ancient ladies called who have husbands who were in shameful professions and don't want you to sound smug.
What are you so secretive about? You don't want people to know what your husband does. You don't want people to know what age you are. What's wrong with being 98?
Nothing really.
Well, then.
Not if you're as fit as I am.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What are you so secretive about, then?
Well, it's just private, isn't it? I
No.
mean, if you want to tell
Of course it
everybody what
isn't
all
private.
your family does, I don't want to tell what mine do.
But don't be so ridiculous. And you know, 9 parts of all the trouble in all of the world is people keeping stupid little secrets, like what their husband does for a living and what age they are. I can't imagine anything more tragic, anything that's more likely to turn this world into a bunch of people twitching the curtains and suspecting other people of being as strange as they are.
Yeah,
well, we're all
how
strange,
I get round
Margaret.
switching the curtains, Tommy. Are you still there?
Yes?
Yes, you're still there. I've had a dress made out of the same material as the curtains.
Margaret, I hope your husband was a psychiatrist. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Andrea calls from Suffolk. Andrea, sorry about that.
That's okay, Tommy. Hello.
Oh, hello.
I agree with a lot of things that you say,
Thank you.
but
Yes?
I'm sorry, I have to disagree with some of them.
E.g.
Teaching is quite a stressful position.
Nah.
It is.
Give me a break.
I'm not married to one,
No.
but I see the effects of it
Where?
on my children.
Well, you can tell that teachers are stressed out from your children's behaviour.
No, from what they tell me.
From what they tell you?
Oh, yes.
What do they tell you?
Oh, you know, that certain teacher was a rat bag today because of such and such, and...
Well, who didn't believe that 90% of their teachers were rat bags, Andrea?
Well, you know... No, this is sort of like one or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, we do, don't we? We always remember certain teachers being rat bags, but no, these ones are obviously very rat baggy.
They make a big thing today out of suffering a lot of stress. I sometimes wonder whether some teachers think that the whole of the education system is in place so that they can have a meaningful job, and of course it's not. It's to educate children.
Well, this is my problem all the way along, really. I'm very lucky that my children have gone through 2 brilliant schools where the teachers have an extremely strong attitude to educating my children or the children in their care. There's just 1 or 2, you know, that maybe think that they're there just to pick up the paycheck.
Yeah.
And that when we actually say, I'm a bit worried about this because, you know, X child is whatever age and can't spell, well, there's not really a lot we can do about that.
No.
And you say, well, right, what? How do you work that out then? That there's nothing you can do.
Now listen to me. You say that teaching is a stressful job.
Well,
Where's the
I'm
stress?
saying that rather tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, right.
I'm afraid, because I
like it. That'll do for me.
Well, Tommy, you know, I mean, quite frankly,
Yeah.
I would like somebody to teach my children who... and I've met a few teachers that do teach like this, who teach my children to enjoy what they're doing.
Yep.
To teach my children that there is a value to what they're learning. And above all, to actually respect the fact that when they go to school, supposedly these teachers are teaching them things because they want the children to appreciate the value of learning.
And that's not difficult, is it? Not really.
It's so easy.
Exactly.
Why make it such a problem?
Did you marry a teacher?
No, I didn't.
You should have done.
Oh, I didn't, because I married a policeman.
You married a copper.
Oh, I did.
Now that's stressful.
Well, it's extremely stressful.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
If you had your time over again, you'd marry a teacher, wouldn't you?
Much
as you love him.
I would marry him if he was a teacher.
There. Okay, that's a fair answer. Free call 0500 10 53 89. What's better than being a teacher? I'll tell you, marrying a teacher. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Colin's on the M1. You're on Talk Radio. Colin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Colin.
You're talking absolute rot about teachers' life not being stressful.
It's a piece of cake.
No, it isn't. My partner
No, I
has
just
just
wondered
actually...
if you wanted a piece of cake. Doesn't matter.
I mean, my partner has just retired from full-time teaching.
Yeah?
And she is now doing sort of a relief teaching where she's on a list, and if a school is short of a teacher, they call her in to cover for that class.
Very interesting.
And she is working at this moment virtually at full time, and every time she goes in, it is because a teacher is off due to stress.
Yeah?
I mean, some days she comes home and she says, literally, I can see why they're off, because that was a class from hell. Because of the discipline of the children and the way they behave with the teachers causes them stress.
I don't go along with this. I think you've got a lot of incompetent teachers out there, and obviously your wife is filling in for a lot of teachers who are in the wrong job.
Well, I mean, my wife was feeling stressed before she actually retired. Because
Why?
as she said, it is, I mean, she's on, if you like, part-time teaching, i.e. she's not, she doesn't have to go in every day.
But what's the pressure, Colin?
Well, the pressure is from the children, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. You tell me. What pressure's that then, mate?
They have a curriculum to stick to.
No! They don't!
Don't they?
A curriculum to stick to?
Yes.
I didn't realise that. No wonder they're all on Valium. They've got to stick to a curriculum.
Of course they have. They've got to teach the children.
Oh, God, in a school?
A school has a curriculum to stick to.
My heart goes out to them, Colin. My heart bleeds.
I mean, they have Ofsted inspections.
You mean people check up to make sure they've done their job properly?
Oh, of course they do.
My God! We can open some psychiatric units for them. The poor
I
love.
think we should.
They've got to follow a course and be seen to stick to it. Nobody else has to put up with that kind of pressure at work, Colin. That's a disgrace.
But I mean, they're managing what, probably 20 to 30 children.
20 to 30 children.
Would you do it, Tommy?
I did it.
You did it?
It was a hoot.
Why aren't you doing it now then if it's a hoot?
I still am. I've got a funny shaped classroom, mate, and you're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not teaching everybody, to try and teach everybody the same thing. People have different levels of learning, don't they?
Do they?
But some children are far more advanced than other children.
This is new to me, Colin. It's fascinating stuff, and this is why teachers are stressed out, because children are different.
Yes.
My God. Little Trojans, aren't they?
They are. Still, it keeps my partner in a job. So,
does, I'm sure that...
long may it be a stressed occupation.
Absolutely, I should think, that 37.5k for 41 weeks work a year.
Well, no, she's restricted on how much she can actually earn because she's pensioned off.
Oh, right, so how much can she earn?
Oh, enough.
Well, 120 a day?
Not quite.
Yeah. What, for about sort of 28 weeks a year?
Yes.
Poor love. Anyway, Colin, you got it right. You married a teacher. Good for you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you picked her, didn't you?
I did that.
Good man. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. Morning, if you just found Talk Radio. We're discussing the ideal partner in life. It has to be a teacher. The only thing that's better than being a teacher is being married to a teacher. This is 24-carat gold-plated advice. I really should be charging you. But if you're young, free and single and you're thinking about settling down, you really should make sure, whatever your partner is like, at all the various things in life, you're a married teacher, right? Plenty of holidays, they're great with your children, good money, job for life. From the horse's mouth, this one. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Kate calls from Exeter. You're on Talk Radio. Kate.
Tommy, it must be a nightmare for the kids having teachers who are parents. Because, well, they get all, you know, when you say to your parents, oh, I haven't got any homework tonight,
Yeah.
and then they'll go back to school and they'll say, oh, you know, the kids didn't have any homework, and then the teachers will say, oh, yes, they did, we gave them plenty, and then you get hell when you get home, don't you?
Well, I wouldn't know about any of that because my wife's a teacher, so she deals with the children. That's the great thing about marrying a teacher, Kate.
Is it?
You must marry a teacher, missus.
No, but what about my poor children? They'll come home and they'll get hell when they go back to school.
You won't have to deal with them because if you marry a teacher, your husband, who is a teacher, will have to deal with them. And so you'll get to watch endless television. All you have to do is the cooking and cleaning.
Well, that's pretty horrible itself.
Well, I don't know about that.
Don't you?
No, I think you'll find.
You do all of that, don't you, at home?
I think you'll find that the children of teachers are invariably happy, contented souls, good as gold.
But what if they get picked on about their parents being teachers as well? You know.
Well, the children don't go around asking people what their parents do for a living.
Yeah, but they'll know, won't they, with a surname and stuff like that?
Oh, if they're in the same school, they'll know. Yes, but then you won't be able to pick on a child whose parent is a teacher unless you're an extremely stupid bully.
I suppose so, actually. Yeah.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've thought this one out. You know, I've had a team on it for 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
All right then.
Who are you going to marry then?
Probably not a teacher.
No? What sort of a profession looks good to you?
I don't know, actually. Someone that works a lot, I suppose, earns good money.
Someone who's away from home an awful lot and sends you a cheque?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
But not as good as being married to a teacher.
Well, you'd know, I suppose.
Thanks for your call. Joel calls from London. You're on Talk Radio, Joel.
Hi, Tommy.
Afternoon.
I think marrying teachers is brilliant. I married one.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I'll tell you another thing. Christmas time,
Yeah.
loads of chocolate from all the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, chocolate and bottles of wine and
Bottle of
all good
scotch.
presents.
Half a bottle of scotch.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
name it.
Yeah.
And always home before me she is, so the house is warm and
That's
dinner's
it.
on the table.
Beans on toast and sausages, lovely.
Yeah, I think
Do you
it's
have
great.
children yet?
No, not yet.
No, but that's obviously.
Well,
on the
one day we
cards.
will.
One day you will.
And that'd be easy as well.
Then you will realise just how right you have got life, Joel.
Yeah, and that'd be clever because you've got to give them extra tuition and things. It won't cost us anything.
Exactly. Exactly. They'll sail through all their exams.
Yeah, I think it's the best bit of advice you can give anybody.
We're onto something here, aren't we, Joel?
Definitely. Definitely.
What's your wife's name?
Sarah Jane.
And where does she teach?
She teaches in a school in Leigh-on-Sea in Essex.
Leigh-on-Sea in Essex. And
Yeah.
so she'll be home
Oh, about 4:30.
full of the joys of spring because, you know, contrary to what you read in the papers, teachers generally arrive home, don't they, after a day's, in inverted commas, work, all pristine.
Well, it's only about 5 hours a day.
I know.
It's 9 till 12 in the morning, then 1 till 3.
I know. And
And they have helpers
Exactly.
and parents in.
No, it's a very rewarding job as well, isn't it?
I think we should all be teachers, really.
Joel, that's a good thought. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Who did you marry? Okay. What does he or she do? Okay. You can see how much easier and better your married life would be if you'd chosen to marry a teacher. It's not too late, you know. You often get divorcees cropping up who are in the teaching profession. You should think about it. You should give it some serious thought. Lorraine calls from Kent. You're on Talk Radio, Lorraine. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tommy. Actually, most teachers I know make lousy parents, not good parents. They're always so tired and fed up of children by the time they get home that they don't make a very good job of their own at all.
Yes, I suppose that could happen in theory, although I've never come across it in the real world.
Well, I have, from personal experience. Although there's obviously one teacher out there who's an absolutely brilliant spouse, and that's your other half.
Ah, yeah.
Because you speak so highly of her. And she puts up with all the mischievous and wicked things that you say on air, so she must be pretty marvellous.
My wife was drawn to teaching. She was drawn to working with children. It's a vocation for her. It's her calling in life.
Yeah.
God summoned her to it. That's fine by me.
Well, yeah, whatever. However, I think the best parents are the ones that stay home and bring their own children up.
Ah, well, you see, if you marry a teacher, that can happen because the teacher stays at home and looks after the children professionally, you see? And then as soon as the children are full-time at school, then back he or she goes to work.
Yeah,
earning
and to
good
being
dough.
tired when they get in and not being particularly interested in them and having problems of looking after them when they're off sick
Now,
and
you
all
see-
that sort of thing.
Well, you see, your mistake is there's a lot of jealousy amongst parents over the way in which teachers bring up their children. And a lot of parents secretly hope that teachers' children are going to be runaways. You know what I mean? Getting into trouble all the time.
Yeah.
It makes you feel a little bit better about yourself and your own child's, occasionally wayward ways.
Well, I haven't got a wayward child. I've got a very, very good child. But, no, it's not jealousy at all. I just, from observation, have seen that most of the children I know who are rude, badly behaved, underachieving, sullen and not particularly cheerful have a teacher as a parent.
Well, I'm not sure. It sounds a little bit biased to me, if you don't mind me saying so. All the teachers I know have fantastic children. Superb children. Free call 0500 10 53 89. It's not surprising, is it? Because they're professionals. You know? I mean, if there's a car mechanic in your street, doesn't his car purr the nicest? Same with your children. Marry a teacher. If you're thinking about getting married, marry a teacher. If you're thinking about splitting up, hunt around. When you're down the singles bar, the second question you ask is, what do you do? If they say I'm a teacher, home for coffee. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Kit calls from London. You're on Talk Radio. Kit.
Hello.
Sir.
How are you?
Never been better. Thank you for asking, Kit.
Smashing. There is a profession that's better than teaching.
Oh, yes?
Yes. It's nursing.
No. Do me a favour. The money's awful.
But they can work nights, so you don't have to pay out in childcare. They can work anywhere in the world. Teachers can't.
Yes, they can.
Only if they know other languages.
No, they don't. No, you can teach English as a foreign language anywhere on earth, because English is the language everybody wants to learn.
That's a good point.
Isn't it? Okay, you want some good points, you come to the right shop. You married a nurse, did you?
I'm marrying a nurse.
Sucker. They're still...
Superb lady.
Wait a minute, what's that in the background?
That's a baby.
I see.
Well, I'm a 90s man.
And I should care.
Oh, yes.
I was going to say, you see, it's not too late. That's the reason I ask about the child. But obviously it is.
It's too late for what?
Too late to ditch your nurse and find a teacher. But obviously it is too late.
I know. I think nurses are teachers too, so I think you get a better package with a nurse.
No, come on, think it through. When your children are old enough to go to school, okay, they're going to have school holidays.
Yeah, one of them is old enough to go to school.
Right, so who looks after them during the school holidays?
We share it between us.
Yeah, it's not as good, is it, as if you're married to a teacher?
Well, I know they get the longer holidays.
They get the same holidays as your children? Perfect.
I would say that's the second best profession to have. It's teaching.
No. You're obviously completely biased here, and you're trying to justify the hot water you've got yourself in.
I'm certainly biased, yes.
Yes. Well, good luck. I don't give it more than 3 or 4 years.
Well, thank you very much. I'll enjoy the 3 or 4 years then.
All right, mate. Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
Free call 0500 10 53 89. Now, Tony's called from Hull. Now, what? Tony, you're on Talk Radio.
Tommy.
Tony.
I would say being a teacher is very, very stressful.
Nah.
Well, because when I was at school, two of my teachers, they had to leave the job because they couldn't, handle the stress and pressure. So, I'd say it's very stressful.
Well, they can't be much cop, can they, really, Tony?
Well, they were good teachers, but they just couldn't hack it. You're saying being a teacher isn't stressful.
No.
But
I'm not. I'm not saying that lots of teachers don't suffer from stress. Clearly they do, but I don't understand that, and I can't get my head around that. I can't think of a job that's less stressful than being a teacher. Can you? I mean, that guy who was on before, he was talking about being a nurse. Now, talk about stress and being a nurse, stress and being a teacher. You think what a nurse has to deal with?
Yeah, but she's caring, isn't she, for someone? Do you know what I mean? It's a different way of working, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're dealing with traffic accidents. They're dealing with mortality.
Yeah, but not all the time, though.
They're dealing with unwell children. That's stress, isn't it?
Yeah, but every job's got its up and downs, hasn't it?
Well, I'm just comparing teaching with being a nurse. And if teaching's stressful, what does that make being a nurse?
Well, I wouldn't... Well, it's different stress, though, isn't it? You know what I mean?
We don't know what stress is, do we?
Not really, no.
No, it's a new thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I think it is?
What?
I think 9 parts of stress is being fed up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if them teachers who was at our school, if they couldn't handle their job, because it was through stress, because it...
So what is this stress? What does stress do?
Well, it affects the brain, doesn't it? You just can't handle it anymore.
How?
How? Well, it just builds up, doesn't it?
No, I don't. It's a new disease, stress.
Well,
it's a very handy thing, isn't it?
If you kept going to work every day and somebody was bothering you and it was getting to you, you just can't handle it anymore, can you? So, you know what I mean? It's stress.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I think I do. What you're saying is it's psychosomatic.
Well, I don't know, but I'm just, I'm
do?
just ringing up just to say,
What do you do?
Yeah, you're saying it ain't very stressful. I'm saying it is because...
What do you do?
Mate, I work for a supermarket.
Doing what?
Well, I work on nights, but so in a warehouse, so it's real quiet. I don't have any stress.
Night work's more stressful than being a teacher, isn't it?
No, because there's only 3 of us there. It's great. It's quiet. Nobody bothers you.
I think, this stress that teachers suffer from, it's a cocktail of a number of disappointments which they have to deal with. The disappointment of not being accorded the kind of status that they hoped they were going to get when they went into teaching. The disappointment of being a teacher anyway, because most of them hoped to be academic, but they didn't get the A-levels.
Yeah, well, I just think to be a teacher, you've got to be a strong-minded person. Because some teachers nowadays are soft. And if they can't handle a kid, it gets to them, doesn't it?
You tell them. There, free call 0500 10 53 89. We're talking about what could turn out to be the best bit of advice you can give any young man or young woman in Britain. And it's simply this. Marry a teacher. The only thing that's better than being a teacher, and it's a lot better, actually, than being a teacher, is marrying a teacher. It's a tremendous profession for your spouse to be following. The holidays, the money, the job security. There is still a great element of status about it. And look how well the children turn out. My mum was a teacher. New Zealand's finest, Scott Chisholm. Both his parents were teachers. And boy, doesn't it show. You see my point? Free call 0500 10 53 89. Alwina calls from Bradford. You're on Talk Radio. Alwina, good afternoon.
Being as your mum was a teacher and your wife's a teacher, you seem to have a very biased view about teaching. Because personally, I think that if you think it's such an easy job, there's no stress attached to it, then they're not doing their job properly at all.
Oh,
I mean, your wife can't be doing her job properly if she lets you think that there is no stress attached to teaching and that's such an easy ride.
My wife's not doing her job properly because she's not under the doctor.
No. I'm not saying that everybody who teaches gets stressed out and is under the doctor. I'm saying it is a stressful job.
No, it isn't.
And it's not a job that you can get home to at 4:30 because you can't. And if you're getting home at 4 o'clock or before your husband, you're not actually doing your job properly. There is 100 other things to do after the children have gone home.
The caretaker.
And delays, preparation.
Yeah.
So you've got to do that. So when did your wife do all that?
What's your point here? Are you trying to say that
My
teaching
point is,
is a stressful business, or is
yes.
teachers work very hard? Well, who doesn't?
Well, I'll tell you why teaching is stressful. First of all, they've got targets to meet. They've got targets from school, they've got targets from government, they've got targets from...
Not job expectations.
Right, and you're talking, and there's a new curriculum, continually new curriculum.
Sorry, I've done this bit of sarcasm before, but I'll do it again. A curriculum? In a school?
When you were teaching, there wasn't a curriculum, was there?
No.
Now there is a curriculum.
No, we used to go in and we used to hang our jean jacket over the back of the blackboard and go, OK, 4C, what shall we do today?
Yeah, let's go out for a walk and look at the flowers.
What a load of old tosh.
When I first started teaching was not stressful. It was not stressful because you could literally do what you wanted to do in the class and there were no targets to meet, there were no SATs, and parents didn't have these very, very high expectations that they have now. Now we've got new curriculum, we've got larger numbers, we've got SATs, we've got testing, we've got badly behaved children with no power to do anything about it, You know, you try and keep a child behind because you want to talk to them, and the parents will come and tell you off.
Honestly, if a teacher thinks teaching is stressful, that teacher should go out and do any other job. Any other job. I can't think of another job that isn't at least 3 times as stressful as being a teacher. I cannot. Can you? I cannot. Really? Free call 0500 10 53 89. This is 1998. The whole of the Western civilization has been to economic hell and back. Absolutely everybody is expected to overperform. Absolutely everybody is expected to be there 10 minutes early and stay for another hour. Teachers don't get sacked. It doesn't happen. You've almost got to be homicidal to be sacked as a teacher. They've got a job for life, a well-paid job for life, an index-linked income, and the kind of pension, you know, that even a footballer would die for. Free call 0500 10 53 89. If you're thinking about getting married, make sure she's a teacher. Tim calls from the M42. You're on Talk Radio. Tim, good afternoon.
Tommy, I appreciate that you've got a show to do and you've got to be fairly controversial, but you don't have to talk some rubbish. I've been married to a teacher now for 5 or 6 years.
Stop boasting.
I'm not boasting at all. I'm very, very happy.
Off. There's no point in showing off.
She's an absolutely brilliant person, but I couldn't do her job. I'm in business. I travel around. I've just landed into this country back from travel abroad, and I still wouldn't do whatever it is that I do. I still wouldn't do her job.
Nah, too clever, aren't you?
No, I'm not too clever. She's the clever one. That's what takes the skill, not sitting on a radio show spouting off at people.
You let that one slide past you, didn't you? You are too clever to be a teacher, aren't you, Tim?
Not. By no means am I too clever.
Yes, you are.
The stress that's associated with that job is all about the care that she has for that job. She absolutely loves every single one of her girls.
Let me get this right. Your wife is in a job that she absolutely loves, and you want us to feel sorry for her.
No. You're saying that it's an easy life, and I'm just trying to say that it is absolutely not an easy life. The benefit that she gets from it is, of course, that she loves it. Right. But the stress that goes with it, the constant kind of performance. You come on for 2 hours a day, so you can spend the other 8 or 10 in preparation, can't you? She's got constant 45 minutes of performance almost, and then 2 seconds break onto the next thing. Totally different group of people, totally different subjects.
Yeah, so she's got to sort of like talk to these people.
No, she hasn't got to talk. All that's got to be tightly prepared. 30-odd people.
Yeah.
It is by no means an easy job, and I wouldn't do it, and I defy a great many people to do it. And I'll tell you something, when you go home tonight and you tell your wife what you've been talking about today, you are in deep trouble.
Not at all.
She will hate you for what you said.
Not at all. You don't know. You see, just because you've married a teacher, you think you know teachers. I know teachers inside out. I married a teacher. My best man was a teacher. My mother is a teacher. All my cousins are teachers. All my great aunts were headmistresses. All my great uncles were headmasters.
And so why did you?
When I got married, mate, it was like a NUT meeting. I know the teaching profession inside out, Timothy.
You say you know everything inside out. You don't. You've never been in a classroom in front of those people. None of us have.
Excuse me.
Taken that sort of pressure.
Excuse me. What do you mean none of us have?
Well, none of us outside of the profession.
Well, I am a teacher.
You profess to be an educator, I'm sure.
No, I'm a teacher. No, I'm a qualified teacher. I've taught. I teach.
Is that right?
Yes, Tim, that's right. Sorry about that. Inconvenient, isn't it?
It is rather, because I didn't know that. No. But, I mean, how long is it since you've been in a classroom?
If you're a good businessman, you know, you really should get your facts right before you sit down at the table, shouldn't you?
You're absolutely right. But have you been in a modern classroom?
I've just pushed my price up an awful lot, haven't I?
Rather. But, I mean, have you been in a modern classroom?
I'm closing the meeting. Is there any other business?
Dear Tommy, bye.
Yeah, bye. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I take back what I said about you being too clever to be a teacher, Tim. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. Loads of famous people were teachers. People who started out as teachers and then went on to be brilliant at lots and lots of things. I'm sure I don't have to list them for you. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Pauline calls from Gloucestershire. You're on Talk Radio, Pauline.
Oh, hi, Tommy.
Hello.
I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for about 26 years. And my husband's a teacher as well. Well, in fact, he's ahead now. But we both really like teaching, and it's brilliant. And I know what people are saying about stress, and I recognise it all, but I feel it's a positive thing sometimes. I feel the kind of stress that you're under in teaching can sometimes I mean, it gives you a buzz sometimes.
Yes.
I think it's a good kind of stress in many ways.
Now, you're making a very powerful point here. You see, in the performing professions, people talk about getting sort of stage fright nerves,
Yeah.
you know, and first night nerves and that kind of rush when you're in the wings.
Yeah.
Now, they don't call that stress.
Teaching is a bit like performing, though, isn't it?
Okay.
A bit.
Agreed.
You've got a bit of a captive audience, though.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, but you still don't want them to nod off or start knitting whilst you're on,
No.
do you, when you're a teacher?
No.
You want them paying attention.
Yeah.
You do get hurt when one child's looking out the window, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you don't handle it too well, and things go wrong. But, you know, overall, it's a brilliant job.
It is.
Neither of us would do anything else, and I can't think of a single day that I've not wanted to go to work.
Society salutes you, Pauline, and we're
good.
grateful. And I want to congratulate you for marrying a teacher,
Oh, yeah.
and I want to congratulate your husband for marrying a teacher.
That's right. Well, you see, when we first met, in fact, he was probationer, and I've been teaching quite a long time, but he sort of whizzed past me on the way up. Yeah, because the other thing is, I was going to say, we do have children. We've got 3 children, and I do have to agree that sometimes we're perhaps not the ideal parents. There is that downside.
My darling, can I give you a piece of advice even more potent than marry a teacher?
What's that?
The best parents are always the ones who think they're not getting it quite right.
Well, I hope you're right.
Isn't that true? You think about it. You think of all the
Yeah.
parents you know, right, who just breeze through parenting.
Yeah, I envy them, actually.
Well, yeah, you do, but I envy stupid people, don't you?
Yeah.
You know?
I suppose so, yeah.
Don't you envy mouth breathers?
Mouth breathers?
Well, you know, people who've never given anything a second thought.
I do, actually, yeah.
Because, you know, you're an
Yeah.
intelligent person. You give everything a second thought and a third thought.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're magnificent.
Thank you.
And then if you ever decide to get shot of your husband, you'll know where to find me.
Okay, I'll remember that. I've got to go and meet my children now anyway, so...
Magnificent. What a magnificent human being. If only the country was made up of people like that, you and I wouldn't have to worry. Jez calls from Staffordshire. You're on Talk Radio, Jez. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tommy.
Jez.
Stress. A psychological condition which occurs when individuals perceive a substantial imbalance between demands being made on them and their ability to satisfy those demands. It's all in the head, Tommy.
Aha! Jez.
Mm-hmm.
You're a doctor?
I'm not, mate. Unemployed teacher.
Now, how do you know all that, then?
I've got the sports science dictionary medicine in front of me.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. So it's all in the head.
It's all in the head. First of all, it's down to the perceptions of the individual.
That's right.
And it's all related to their
Ability
belief
to satisfy the demands.
that they can't do their job.
Correct.
So if a teacher is suffering from stress,
Mm-hmm.
they brought it on themselves because they realise that they're not much coppers teachers.
That's right, Tommy. You've got it.
Which is why my wife hasn't suffered from stress.
Right.
You don't suffer from stress?
I don't, mate. I'm relaxed.
Just suffer from unemployment.
I do, yeah. There are 3 types of stress. Distress, normal stress, and eustress.
Eustress?
That's the higher level. That's good. That's positive stress. That's when you feel good.
That's sort of like East German stress.
That's right. You got it, Tom, yeah.
Stress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Jez, thanks very much indeed for your contribution to the programme.
Thank you, Tommy.
And I hope you get a job soon.
Cheers, mate.
You should do. We need you in teaching.
Thank you very much. See
Are
you
you,
later, Tom.
are you married, Mal?
I am married, yes.
Didn't your wife do well?
She did very well. Good choice.
Yeah. What does she do?
She's unemployed as well.
What would she be doing if
she would be a care assistant.
A care assistant? Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's almost as good as being a teacher.
Yeah. And she can teach me how to care.
Congratulations to the pair of you.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thanks for your call. Free call 0500 10 53 89. The only thing that's better than being a teacher is marrying a teacher. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening. Nick's in Northants. You're on Talk Radio. Nick, good afternoon.
You have no conception of what stress can possibly be.
That's true.
Not at all.
It's true enough.
I mean, a teacher, let's face 2 points here. Teachers have got a very, very easy life, but they do make rubbish parents. But you work for 2 hours a day. A teacher works for 6.
Mm-hmm.
You come in, you talk to a few listeners, you go home again.
Yeah.
You've got no stress, have you, in your life?
No.
So how can you possibly know or understand what stresses or not a teacher may be facing?
Well, you see, I'm a psychologist.
No, you're not.
I mean, I don't have to suffer from various psychological complaints. Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not.
I am.
You're a
I
radio presenter.
am a psychologist.
No, you're not.
A trained psychologist.
Yeah, but you're not a psychologist, are you? You're not a practicing psychologist.
Yes, I am. What do you think this is?
This is a radio show.
Yes, but it's dealing in nothing if not human psychology.
Well, yeah, I accept that. However, you're not a psychologist, you're a radio presenter.
I'm a psychologist.
You're a radio presenter. What are you doing at the moment?
Practicing psychology.
No, you're presenting a radio show. It says Talk Radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what do you know about Freud?
I know nothing about Freud.
You certainly do.
I know as much about teaching as you do, and I know perhaps more about stress than you do.
Freud said that the only cure for any of our ailments is to talk. The talking cure, he called it.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's gorgeous, but it still doesn't alter the fact that you're a radio presenter. You're not a psychologist. You may be trained as a psychologist.
Yes.
I may be, or maybe not, trained as a teacher. But that doesn't then entitle you to an opinion about whether or not teachers have a stressful life.
This is pitiably nitpicky, if you don't mind me saying so. And I expect you.
But are you ever nitpicky? Pedantic even sometimes?
Yes.
Exactly.
So?
So that's okay then.
But I'm not right now. You are.
Exactly. But you're a radio presenter, you're not a psychologist, and therefore you cannot understand or know what stress is not. But teachers aren't the best people to marry.
Who are?
Radio presenters. You would be a great person to marry. Do 2 hours work, come home.
What have you got in mind? Wait. What have you got in mind here?
Tommy, I love you.
First of all, how tall are you? So I don't like people more than about 5'2", because I'm only 5'8".
Is that right?
How tall are you?
I'm a big strapping lad, Tommy.
Oh, no. I'd have to be the man.
Oh, do you?
I would, yeah.
Oh, dear.
If I had a gay marriage, I'd have to be the man.
Yes, but it's not. Yeah, I'm not gay, and you're not gay, and you've got two wonderful lads and a lovely wife who happens to be a teacher. But if I was a woman.
You were prowling around me, though. Be honest.
Sorry?
You were prowling around me.
I may have been having a little sniff.
You were, weren't you?
I was just a little tad.
Hey? I felt like a lamppost there for a minute.
just for 1 second. But let's not get away from the point.
Which was?
You've not got a right to an opinion on stress on teachers, and you would be the ideal person to marry.
While we're nitpicking.
Because that's what it's all about.
While we're nitpicking.
The first rule of argument.
I am not a presenter.
You are a radio presenter.
Nope.
Of course you're a radio presenter. You keep saying Talk Radio on 510 53 89. You must be a radio presenter.
Excuse me. I know what I do.
Yeah.
I am a host.
Okay. You're a talk radio host.
Presenters just read words from a page.
Is that right?
And auto cue.
Do they?
Yes.
That's what television presenters do, is it?
I and my colleagues at Talk Radio are more than presenters.
But let's get back to the point.
We are hosts.
But let's get back to the point. Let's get back to being nitpicky.
Yes, and the point is that it's fantastic to be married to a teacher, and I recommend it. And who did you marry?
I married somebody in marketing. Well, we don't want children, so that's okay.
Sucker.
Yeah, but hey.
Yeah?
Hey.
What?
We don't want kids. We don't want kids.
Very relieved to hear it on behalf of the nation.
But you've got to admit, Tommy, you're wrong. You're wrong about the stress bit.
Not at all.
Yes, you are.
All right.
You are.
Are you unemployed at the moment?
I'm not. I work from home.
Right.
I just occasionally dip in and out, and I must admit, I heard this. I was flicking around radio stations because I wanted to listen to a radio station, and I got hold of a psychologist on Talk Radio, so that was just fantastic.
How interesting. I was going to offer to pay for the contraceptives for you, but if you're in employment, then you don't need the help.
No, that's right, I don't.
All right, nice to talk to you, I suppose.
Hey, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Rebecca calls from London. You're on Talk Radio. Rebecca, good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy.
Rebecca.
You are naughty, aren't you? I mean, I know I'm not going to come away winning any points off of you, so, I mean, I might as well stop now. But I just have 2 points that I want to put to you, okay, if I've got time. And that is that I think you're taking a lot away from teachers by what you're saying. I know, it's all very funny, but I've got a little girl now. She's 5, and she's just finished her first year at school. And in this year, she has learned so much. She now can read, she can write, she knows how to add up. And this first year has done it, and that's her teacher has put all that there and laid the foundation for the rest of her life. Whatever she goes on to do, whether if she carries on to be as bright as this, she'll be right there at the top, proud mother here. But that's all been done by the teacher. Now, that is a major, stress is the wrong word, but that is a major...
source of job satisfaction. Next point.
Well, the other day when I went to pick her up from school, which I've got to run and do very shortly now, I was standing behind a woman who has a rather naughty boy, and I heard the teacher saying to her, I'm afraid, little whoever, has been a bit naughty today, and I'm afraid he was kicking and biting the dinner lady. And you're going to have to deal with this because his tantrums in class are becoming more frequent. And I just thought, I mean, nobody should have to put up with that. And when I was speaking to her on another occasion, she said it's becoming more and more common as the years go by. She's been teaching for a long time. It's becoming more and more common. And this is just a class of 5-year-olds. Now, I mean, I can't cope with my 2. So to have to deal with 30 of them in these huge classes that they're forced to teach, don't take it away from them, Tommy. They're fantastic. This woman, all teachers,
You
most
misunderstand entirely. That's precisely this is what I'm saying. You don't understand at all. This is what I'm saying. This programme, this last hour, every programme we do in education is in praise of teachers and children.
But you are taking it away a bit, aren't you, by saying...
Don't forget to subscribe and like. Comment too if you wish. Even slap your legs and make a purchase from Ann Summers. But don't do nothing.